Maya Collins crawled through the garbage pile on her hands and knees. Her worn boots had holes in them, and the cold morning air made her shiver. The sun was just coming up over the tall alien buildings in the distance. Those shiny towers belonged to the Zephyrians who ruled Earth now. Maya lived in the slums with all the other humans. The aliens had taken over 50 years ago, and humans were not allowed in the nice parts of the city anymore. They had to live in the dirty areas and look for scraps to survive. She pushed aside broken metal pieces and old food containers. Maya was looking for anything she could sell or trade for food. Her stomach made hungry noises. She had not eaten anything real in 2 days. Then her hand touched something smooth and warm. Maya pulled it out of the trash pile. It was a small crystal thing about the size of her fist. The crystal was clear but had strange colors moving inside it like tiny lightning bolts. When Maya held it tight, the crystal started to glow. Bright symbols appeared on its surface, floating and spinning like magic. She had never seen anything like it before. The device felt alive in her hands, getting warmer and brighter. Maya looked around to make sure no one was watching. If the Zephyrian guards saw her with alien technology, they would throw her in prison or worse. She quickly wrapped the crystal in her old jacket and ran back to her tiny shelter. Her home was just a few metal sheets leaning against a broken wall. Inside, Maya unwrapped the crystal again. It immediately started glowing even brighter than before. The symbols were moving faster now, and she could almost understand what they meant. High above Earth, on a huge spaceship floating in the sky, alarms started ringing. Emperor Kaelseth Vorthan was sitting on his throne when his officers ran up to him. "Your Majesty," said one officer, breathing hard, "the ancient detection system just activated. Someone on the planet's surface has found one of the old devices." Emperor Kaelseth was tall and powerful looking. His skin was blue-gray, and his eyes were bright silver. He wore dark clothes with gold decorations that showed he was the ruler of the Zephyrian Empire. "Impossible," he said in his deep voice. "No one has been able to activate ancient technology for thousands of years. Show me where the signal is coming from." The officer pointed to a screen that showed a map of Earth. A red dot was blinking in the human slum area. "A human?" "Emperor." Kaelseth stood up quickly. "Prepare my transport. I will go down there myself." "Sir, it might be dangerous," the officer said. "Humans are unpredictable." "I have ruled this empire for 200 years, the Emperor replied. "I think I can handle one human." Back in the slums, Maya was still staring at the crystal when the air around her started to shimmer. She jumped back as a tall figure appeared out of nowhere right in front of her shelter. Maya had never seen a Zephyrian up close before. This one was huge, much taller than any human. His clothes looked expensive, and he carried himself like someone very important. But what scared Maya the most were his silver eyes. They seemed to look right through her. "Give me the device," Emperor Kaelseth said in perfect English. "What device?" Maya clutched the crystal behind her back. The Emperor smiled, but it was not a nice smile. "The ancient artifact you just activated, my sensors detected it from space." Maya's heart was beating so fast she thought it might stop. But she did not give up. "I don't know what you're talking about." Emperor Kaelseth stepped closer. "Human, you do not understand what you have found. That device is more powerful than anything your species has ever seen. It could destroy entire worlds if used wrong." "Then why do you want it?" Maya asked. Question surprised him. Most humans just begged for mercy when they met him. This small human female was actually arguing with him. "Because I am the Emperor," he said. "Everything on this planet belongs to me." "This crystal was in the trash," Maya said, her voice getting stronger. "Even emperors don't own garbage." Emperor Kaelseth stared at her. No one had ever talked to him like this before. He could kill her with one hand, but something stopped him. The device in her hands was glowing brighter now, and the light seemed to make her look almost magical. "What is your name?" he asked. "Maya. Maya Collins." "Maya Collins," he repeated slowly. "Do you know what you hold?" "Something that doesn't belong to you," she said. The Emperor laughed. It was the first time he had laughed in years. This brave, little human was standing up to the most powerful being in the galaxy over a piece of trash. He stepped even closer until he was looking down at her face. Maya was pretty, even covered in dirt from the garbage pile. Her brown eyes were full of fire and determination. "The ancient device responds to you," he said quietly. "That should be impossible." "Maybe your people aren't as smart as you think," Maya replied. Something strange happened then. Emperor Kaleseth felt something he had never felt before. This human was not afraid of him. She was protecting something she believed was hers, just like he protected his empire. Before he knew what he was doing, the Emperor reached out and touched Maya's face. She did not pull away. The crystal between them glowed even brighter, filling the small shelter with warm light. "Impossible," he whispered. Then Emperor Kaleseth did something that would change the galaxy forever. He leaned down and kissed Maya. Collins, a human slum girl who had found magic in the garbage. The kiss lasted only a few seconds, but when it ended, both their lives were completely different. The crystal in Maya's hands was now blazing like a small sun, and similar lights were starting to appear all over the galaxy. Maya stared up at the Emperor, her lips still tingling. What just happened? Emperor Kaleseth stepped back, looking confused and angry at himself. "I do not know," he said, "but everything has changed now." Maya found herself on the biggest spaceship she had ever imagined. The walls were made of smooth metal that glowed with soft blue light. Everything was clean and shiny, so different from the dirty slums where she lived. Emperor Kaleseth walked ahead of her down a long hallway. Guards in silver armor followed behind them. Maya still held the crystal device tight in her hands. It kept glowing and getting warmer whenever she was scared or excited. "Where are you taking me?" Maya asked. "To meet someone who can explain what you have found," the Emperor said without looking back. They stopped at a large door that opened by itself. Inside was a room full of strange machines and computer screens. A human woman with gray hair looked up from one of the computers. "Your Majesty," the woman said, bowing her head. "I was not expecting you." "Dr. Lisa Park, meet Maya Collins," Emperor Kaleseth said. "She has activated an ancient device." Dr. Park's eyes went wide when she saw the glowing crystal in Maya's hands. "That's impossible. Humans can't use ancient technology." "Apparently they can," the Emperor said. "I want you to study this immediately." Maya stepped back. "Nobody is studying anything until someone tells me what's going on." Dr. Park smiled at Maya's brave words. "You're right to be careful. Please sit down and I'll explain everything." Maya sat in a comfortable chair, still holding the crystal. Dr. Park pulled up pictures on a big screen. Long ago, before humans or Zephyrians existed, there was a race called the Ancients, Dr. Park said. They built amazing technology that could do things we still don't understand. Then one day they all disappeared. "What happened to them?" Maya asked. "Nobody knows. They left behind their machines and devices scattered all over the galaxy. Most of the technology won't work for anyone. We've tried for thousands of years." Maya looked down at the crystal in her hands. "But this one works for me." "Yes, and that changes everything," Dr. Park said. "The Ancients might have been waiting for humans to find their technology." Emperor Kaleseth was pacing back and forth. Maya could tell he was upset about something. "There is more," he said. "Show her the galaxy map." Dr. Park touched some buttons, and the screen changed. It showed a map of space with thousands of stars and planets. Many of them had red dots blinking. "Since you activated that device, similar machines have started turning on all over the galaxy," Dr. Park explained. "There's even a huge one under Earth's ocean that we never knew about." Maya felt scared and excited at the same time. "Why is this happening?" "The ancient devices are connected somehow," Dr. Park said. "When you turned one on, you sent a signal to all the others." Before anyone could say more, the door opened and a tall female Zephyrian walked in. She wore a military uniform with many medals. Her skin was darker blue than the Emperor's, and her silver eyes looked angry. "Kaleseth, the High Council is demanding answers," the woman said. Then she saw Maya and stopped talking. "Commander Zarathel, this is Maya Collins," Emperor Kaleseth said. "Maya, meet my oldest friend and military advisor." Commander Zarathel stared at Maya with cold eyes. "This is the human who has caused so much trouble?" I haven't caused any trouble, Maya said, standing up. I just found something in the garbage. That something has awakened ancient technology across the entire galaxy, Commander Zarathel said. The High Council believes it could be used as a weapon. What's the High Council? Maya asked. The group of Zephyrian leaders who helped me rule the Empire, Emperor Kaelseth explained. They want me to take the device from you and give it to our scientists. Maya hugged the crystal closer to her chest. You can't have it, Maya, Dr. Park said gently. Maybe it would be safer. No, Maya interrupted. This thing responded to me, not to them. Maybe there's a reason for that. Commander Zarathel laughed. A reason? You're just a human from the slums. What could you possibly know about ancient technology? Maya felt the crystal getting hot in her hands. The symbols on its surface started spinning faster. I know it doesn't like you, Maya said. Suddenly all the computers in the room started beeping. Dr. Park ran to check them. The ancient device under the ocean just got much stronger, she said with excitement. And I'm getting signals from devices on other planets too. This is what I was afraid of, Commander Zarathel said to the Emperor. The human is too dangerous. We need to contain her before she activates something that could destroy us all. She will not be contained, Emperor Kaelseth said firmly. Commander Zarathel looked shocked. Kaelseth, you're not thinking clearly. This human has somehow influenced you. Maya saw the Emperor's jaw tighten. I am thinking more clearly than I have in years. The High Council will not accept this, Commander Zarathel warned. They expect you to control the situation. Then perhaps the High Council needs to learn they cannot control everything, the Emperor replied. Dr. Park was still studying the computer readings. Maya, can you try touching the device to this machine? I want to see what happens. Maya looked at the Emperor, who nodded. She carefully pressed the crystal against the computer screen. Immediately, new symbols appeared on all the screens in the room. It's beautiful, Dr. Park whispered. The device is trying to communicate with our technology. What is it saying? Maya asked. Dr. Park worked quickly on her computer. I think it's trying to show us a map. Yes, look at this. The screen showed Earth, but not like Maya had ever seen it before. There were glowing lines connecting different points all over the planet. There are ancient devices all over Earth, Dr. Park said with wonder. And they're all connected in a network. A network of what? Emperor Kaelseth asked. Before Dr. Park could answer, more alarms started ringing throughout the ship. Another officer ran into the room. Your Majesty, we're receiving messages from all over the Empire. Other planets are reporting ancient device activations. The admirals are asking for orders. Commander Zarathel grabbed the Emperor's arm. Kaelseth, you must stop this now before it spreads further. Maya felt the crystal pulse in her hands. Somehow she understood what it was trying to tell her. It's not spreading, she said quietly. It's awakening. The devices aren't weapons. They're trying to bring everyone together. Together for what? Commander Zarathel demanded. Maya looked up at the Emperor, then at Dr. Park, and, finally, at the angry commander. I don't know yet, Maya admitted. But I think the ancients left their technology for someone who would use it to help people, not hurt them. Emperor Kaelseth stepped closer to Maya. And you believe you are that someone? Maya looked down at the glowing crystal. I think maybe all humans are. We just needed someone to turn on the first device. Commander Zarathel shook her head. This is madness. Kaelseth, if you don't stop this human, the High Council will do it for you. The Emperor's silver eyes flashed with anger. Let them try. Maya realized that by finding one small device in the garbage, she had started something that might change the entire galaxy. She just hoped she was strong enough to see it through. Maya woke up in a room she had never seen before. The bed was soft and comfortable, unlike anything she had ever slept on in the slums. Through a large window, she could see Earth far below, looking like a blue and white ball. Someone knocked on the door. Come in, Maya called out. Dr. Park entered carrying a tray of food that smelled wonderful. Good morning, Maya. How are you feeling? Maya's stomach growled loudly. Hungry, she admitted, taking the tray gratefully. The Emperor wanted me to tell you that 3 more alien ships have arrived during the night, Dr. Park said. Word about The ancient devices is spreading fast. Maya stopped eating. What kind of ships? One is from the Helix Confederation. They're enemies of the Zephyrian Empire. The other two ships have humans on them. Maya's heart jumped. Humans? From where? Captain Elena Rodriguez leads a group of human rebels who have been fighting the Zephyrians for years. The other ship belongs to a human engineer named Nova Chen, who escaped from the alien work camps. Before Maya could ask more questions, the door opened and Emperor Kyleseth walked in. He looked tired and worried. Maya, we need to talk, he said. The situation has become complicated. Dr. Park quickly left them alone. Emperor Kyleseth sat down across from Maya. The High Council met all night, he said. They want me to hand you over to them for study. They believe you're too dangerous to remain free. Maya felt scared, but tried not to show it. What did you tell them? I told them no, the Emperor said. But that has created a problem. Some of my own people now think I'm not fit to rule. I'm sorry, Maya said. I didn't mean to cause trouble for you. Emperor Kyleseth reached out and touched her hand gently. You have done nothing wrong. The trouble was already there. You simply made it visible. The door chimed, and Commander Zarathel entered without waiting for permission. Her face looked angry. Kyleseth, Captain Rodriguez is demanding to speak with the human girl. She says she's come to rescue her. Maya stood up quickly. I want to meet her. Absolutely not, Commander Zarathel said. She's a terrorist who has killed many Zephyrian soldiers. She's fighting for human freedom, Maya replied. That doesn't make her a terrorist. Emperor Kyleseth was quiet for a moment, thinking. Bring Captain Rodriguez to the main meeting room. I will speak with her myself. An hour later, Maya found herself in a large room with a long table. Emperor Kyleseth sat at one end, and Maya sat beside him. Commander Zarathel stood behind them with several guards. The door opened, and 3 humans walked in. The leader was a woman with short black hair and scars on her face. She wore a military uniform that looked old, but well-maintained. I'm Captain Elena Rodriguez, the woman said, looking directly at Maya. We've come to take you home. This is my home now, Maya said, surprising everyone, including herself. Captain Rodriguez looked confused. Maya, these aliens have enslaved our people for 50 years. Why would you want to stay with them? Maya held up the crystal device, which started glowing brighter. Because I think I can do more good here than hiding in the underground. The girl has been brainwashed, said one of the men with Captain Rodriguez. No one has brainwashed me, Maya said firmly. I made this choice myself. Emperor Kyleseth spoke up. Captain Rodriguez, what do you know about the ancient technology? I know it's powerful enough to free humanity, Captain Rodriguez replied. That's why we need Maya to come with us. Before anyone could respond, another human entered the room. This woman was younger than Captain Rodriguez, with short brown hair and one mechanical arm. Sorry I'm late, the newcomer said. I'm Nova Chen. I've been studying the ancient devices from my ship. Nova carried a small computer device. Maya, I've been analyzing the signals your crystal is sending out. The network is bigger than we thought. There are ancient devices on hundreds of planets, and they're all connecting to each other. Connecting for what purpose? Emperor Kyleseth asked. I think they're building something, Nova said. A communication system that could link every intelligent species in the galaxy. Captain Rodriguez looked skeptical. That sounds too good to be true. Maybe, Nova admitted. But the energy patterns suggest the devices are designed to share information, not destroy things. Commander Zarathel stepped forward. Even if that's true, we cannot allow humans to control such technology. Who says humans would control it? Maya asked. Maybe it's meant to be shared by everyone. The room was quiet for a moment. Then Emperor Kyleseth spoke. There is something you all should know, he said. The Helix Confederation has also sent an ambassador. She wants to meet with Maya. Let her come, Maya said. If this technology is supposed to bring people together, we should start somewhere. ND. Hour later, the room was even more crowded. The Helix ambassador was a tall, thin alien with green skin and large eyes. Her name was Thexara, and she spoke in a musical voice. Maya Collins, Ambassador Thexara said, My people have legends about the ancients. We believe they were waiting for a species that valued cooperation over conquest. Humans have spent most of their history fighting each other, Commander Zarathel pointed out. So have most species, Ambassador Thexera replied. But humans also have something special. They can feel empathy for beings completely different from themselves. Maya felt the crystal getting warm in her hands. What do you mean? The ancient devices respond to emotions as much as thoughts, Ambassador Thexera explained. Humans have very strong emotions, especially about protecting others. Dr. Park, who had been quietly taking notes, looked up. That would explain why the technology only activates for Maya. She was protecting the device when the Emperor found her. Nova Chen nodded. And the network has been growing stronger every time Maya feels protective of something or someone. Captain Rodriguez was still suspicious. This all sounds very convenient. How do we know this isn't a trap? Maya stood up, holding the crystal high. It blazed with bright light, and suddenly every computer screen in the room lit up with the same symbols. Because the devices are showing us something, Maya said. The symbols formed pictures of different alien species, working together, building amazing cities among the stars. The images showed a time when there was no war, only cooperation and learning. The ancients' vision, Ambassador Thexera whispered. A galaxy united in peace. Emperor Kael'Zeth stared at the images, and they left their technology for whoever could make this vision real. Maya looked around the room at all the different beings. Maybe that's why the device started working when you kissed me. It wasn't about humans or Zephyrians. It was about two different people choosing to trust each other. Commander Zarathel shook her head. The High Council will never accept this. They believe in Zephyrian superiority. Then perhaps it's time for a new kind of leadership, Emperor Kael'Zeth said quietly. Captain Rodriguez stood up. If you really want to change things, you'll need all the help you can get. My people will fight alongside you. Nova Chen raised her mechanical hand. And I can help build new technologies based on the ancient designs. Ambassador Thexera bowed her head. The Helix Confederation offers its support as well. Maya felt tears in her eyes as she looked around the room. Just days ago, she had been alone in the slums. Now she was surrounded by people from different worlds who all wanted the same thing. So what do we do now? Maya asked. Emperor Kael'Zeth smiled. Now, we change the galaxy. Maya was sleeping when the alarm started screaming throughout the ship. She jumped out of bed and ran to the window. Outside, she could see explosions of light as spaceships fired weapons at each other. Emperor Kael'Zeth burst into her room. We need to leave now, he said urgently. The High Council has sent General Vextar to arrest both of us. Why? Maya asked, quickly grabbing the crystal device. Because I refuse to hand you over to them, the Emperor replied. They say I've been compromised by human influence and am no longer fit to rule. Maya followed him down the hallway as the ship shook from weapon fire. Where can we go? Captain Rodriguez has a ship waiting for us, Emperor Kael'Zeth said. But we have to reach the docking bay first. They ran through corridors filled with confused soldiers and officers. Some of them tried to stop the Emperor, but others saluted him as he passed. Maya could see that his own people were divided about what to do. Commander Zarathel appeared in front of them with a group of guards. For a moment, Maya thought they were trapped. Your Majesty, Commander Zarathel said, General Vextar has ordered me to arrest you. Emperor Kael'Zeth straightened up. And will you follow that order? Commander Zarathel looked at Maya, then back at her old friend. I've served the Empire my whole life, but this isn't about the Empire anymore. This is about power and fear. She stepped aside and let them pass. The docking bay is clear. Go now before I change my mind. Emperor Kael'Zeth touched her shoulder gently. Thank you, old friend. Don't thank me yet, Commander Zarathel said. This is just the beginning. They reached the docking bay just as Captain Rodriguez's ship was preparing to leave. Maya and Emperor Kael'Zeth ran up the ramp as weapons fire echoed behind them. Welcome aboard, Captain Rodriguez said as the ship lifted off. I hope you're ready for a fight, because that's what we're going to get. As they flew away from the Emperor's flagship, Maya watched through the window as more ships arrived. Some were attacking the flagship, while others were defending it. Your people are fighting each other, Maya said to Emperor Kael'Zeth. Half the Empire supports General Vextar, he replied sadly. They believe humans are a threat to Zephyrian superiority. The other half are confused and don't know who to follow. Dr. Park was already on the ship, along with Nova Chen and Ambassador Thexara. They were gathered around a large computer screen showing a map of the galaxy. "The situation is getting worse," Dr. Park said. "Ancient devices are activating on dozens of worlds, and different alien species are fighting over them." Nova pointed to several red dots on the map. "Admiral Kate Morrison has managed to gather a human fleet here near the outer rim, but they're badly outnumbered." "How many ships does she have?" Captain Rodriguez asked. "About 50, Nova replied. "But they're equipped with new weapons based on ancient technology. Maya's crystal has been sending us design information." Maya looked down at the device in her hands. "It's been doing what?" "Every time you use it, the crystal shares knowledge." "With our computers," Dr. Park explained. "We've learned how to build energy shields and faster engines." Emperor Kaleseth studied the map. "Admiral Morrison will need more than 50 ships to fight the Empire. General Vextar commands thousands. That's why we need to convince other species to join us," Ambassador Thexara said. "The Helix Confederation has agreed to send 100 ships, but we need more allies." Captain Rodriguez pulled up another part of the map. "There's a problem. General Vextar isn't just trying to capture Maya anymore. His ships are attacking planets with ancient devices and taking them by force." Maya felt sick. "He's hurting innocent people because of me?" "No," Emperor Kaleseth said firmly. "He's hurting people because he's afraid of losing power. That's not your fault." Before anyone could say more, a new voice came over the ship's communication system. It was old and wise-sounding. "Greetings, Maya Collins. I am Sage Lyra N of the ethereal race." Everyone looked around, confused. "Where are you?" Maya asked. "My people live in space stations hidden throughout the galaxy," the voice replied. "We have been watching and waiting for someone like you." "Someone like me?" Maya said. "The ancients left behind more than just technology," Sage Lyra N explained. "They left prophecies. One speaks of a young person from a forgotten world who would unite the galaxy not through force, but through understanding." Nova frowned. "That sounds too much like a fairy tale." "Perhaps," Sage Lyra N said, "but the ancient devices are responding to Maya in ways we have never seen before. Each time she uses the crystal with compassion rather than anger, the network grows stronger." Maya felt the crystal pulse in her hands. "What am I supposed to do?" "You must reach the ancient nexus," Sage Lyra N said. "It's a massive space station, hidden at the center of the galaxy. From there you can activate the complete network." "And then what?" Emperor Kaleseth asked. "Then the galaxy will see what the ancients truly intended," the sage replied. "But be warned, General Vextar knows about the nexus too. He believes that controlling it will give him power over all ancient technology." Captain Rodriguez started, setting new coordinates. "How do we get there before he does?" "My people will provide you with safe passage," Sage Lyra N said. "But the final choice will be Maya's. The ancient network will only fully activate for someone pure of heart." Over the next few days, their small group of ships grew into a real fleet. Admiral Kate Morrison brought her human vessels, along with crews who had never seen Earth but still wanted to fight for human freedom. The Helix Confederation sent their promised ships, sleek and fast. Even some Zephyrian commanders who disagreed with General Vextar joined them. But Maya could see on the star charts that General Vextar's fleet was much larger. Thousands of military ships were moving toward the center of the galaxy. "We can't fight them all," Maya said to Emperor Kaleseth as they watched the enemy fleet's movements. "We don't have to fight them all," he replied. "We just have to reach the Nexus first." Commander Zarathel had joined them 3 days earlier, bringing several ships of loyal Zephyrian soldiers with her. She had officially been declared a traitor by the High Council, but she didn't seem to care. "Kaleseth is right," she said. "If Maya can activate the ancient network completely, it might stop the fighting before it really begins." Maya looked out at the stars and thought about everything that had happened since she found the crystal in the garbage. So many people were now depending on her, and she was just a girl from the slums who didn't understand half of what was going on. But when she held the crystal tight, she could feel something else. All across the galaxy, the ancient devices were waiting. They had been waiting for thousands of years for someone to turn them on, not for war, but for peace. "I'm ready," Maya said. "Let's go to the Nexus." Admiral Morrison's voice came over the communication system. "All ships, prepare for jump to hyperspace. We're going to end this war before it destroys the galaxy." As the stars stretched into lines, around them, Maya held the crystal and hoped she was strong enough to do what the ancients had planned so long ago. The ancient Nexus was the most beautiful and terrifying thing Maya had ever seen. The space station was huge, bigger than a small moon, made of crystal and metal that seemed to glow with its own light. Strange energy flowed around it like rivers of stars. "How old is this place?" Maya whispered as their ship approached. "Older than any of our civilizations," Sage Lyra Hen replied over the communication system. "The ancients built it as the heart of their empire, but they were not the only ones who had found the Nexus. General Vextar's massive fleet was already there, surrounding the station with thousands of warships. Maya could see weapon fire as her friend's smaller fleet tried to break through the enemy lines. "This is Admiral Morrison," came a voice over the radio. "Maya, we'll try to get you to the station, but I don't know how long we can hold them off." Emperor Kaleseth was piloting their small shuttle toward the Nexus. "There," he said, pointing, "to a docking port. If we can reach that entrance, you might be able to get inside." Explosions lit up the space around them as the battle raged. Maya saw ships from both sides being destroyed, and she felt terrible that so many people were dying because of her. "It's not because of you," Commander Zarathel said, as if reading her thoughts. "It's because some people would rather destroy the galaxy than share it." They managed to reach the docking port just as General Vextar's voice boomed across all communication channels. "Surrender now, and I will allow the humans to live as slaves," he announced. "Continue fighting, and I will destroy every human world in the galaxy." Maya felt the crystal in her hands grow hot with anger. "He can't do that to my people." "He can if he controls the ancient network," Emperor Kaleseth said grimly. "That's why you have to reach the core of the station before he does." They ran, through corridors that seemed to shift and change around them. The walls were covered with the same symbols Maya had seen on her crystal, but these were much larger and more complex. "The station is alive," Dr. Park said in wonder as she studied the moving symbols. "It's some kind of massive computer." They reached a central chamber where a beam of light stretched from the floor to the ceiling. In the center of the beam, a figure was waiting for them. "Welcome, Maya Collins," the figure said. It looked like a person made of pure light, constantly, shifting between different shapes. "I am Keeper Asheran, the last consciousness of the ancient race." Maya stepped forward, still holding her crystal. "Are you really one of the ancients?" "I am what remains of our collective wisdom," Keeper Ashran replied. "We knew that someday another race would be ready to inherit our legacy." "Why humans?" Emperor Kaleseth asked. "We are young and often foolish." Keeper Ashran smiled, or at least the light seemed to smile. "Because you choose cooperation over conquest when it matters most. Because you can love beings completely different from yourselves." The chamber shook as explosions echoed through the station. "General Vextar has breached the outer defenses," Commander Zarathel reported. "He'll be here soon." "Maya, Keeper," Asheron said urgently, "you must make a choice. To fully activate the ancient network, you must join your consciousness with it. You will become the bridge between all species, but you may lose your individual self in the process." Maya looked at her friends. Emperor Kaleseth stepped forward and took her hand. "Whatever you choose, I will support you," he said softly. "As will we all," Dr. Park added. Maya thought about her life in the slums, always hungry and afraid. Then she thought about all the people across the galaxy who were still hungry and afraid because of war and hatred. "If I do this, will the fighting stop?" she asked. "The network will allow all species to communicate directly," Keeper Ashran explained. "When beings can truly understand each other, war becomes much harder to justify." Heavy footsteps echoed in the corridor outside. General Vextar had arrived with his soldiers. "Choose quickly," Commander Zarathel said, raising her weapon. Maya looked at the crystal in her hands one last time. Then she stepped into the beam of light. Immediately, her consciousness expanded beyond anything she had ever imagined. She could feel every ancient device across the galaxy activating at once. She could sense the thoughts and emotions of billions, of beings on thousands of worlds. But instead of losing herself, Maya found that her humanity made her stronger. She could understand the hopes and fears of every species, and she used that understanding to connect them all. General Vextar burst into the chamber with his soldiers, but he stopped when he saw Maya floating in the beam of light, her body glowing. "With ancient power! Stop this at once!" he demanded. "I am the rightful ruler of this galaxy!" Maya's voice now echoed with the wisdom of the ancients, but it was still her voice. "No one rules the galaxy, General. We all share it." Suddenly, every being in the chamber could feel what the others were feeling. General Vextar experienced Maya's memories of hunger and fear in the slums. Maya felt the general's deep loneliness and his terror of being forgotten. I don't understand," General Vextar said, lowering his weapon. "That's the point," Maya replied gently. "None of us really understood each other before. The ancient network was now fully active, connecting every world where intelligent life existed. Instead of controlling it, Maya became its heart, helping different species communicate across the barriers of language and culture. Emperor Kaleseth stepped forward. "Maya, are you still you?" Maya smiled, and for a moment she looked exactly like the girl from the slums who had found a crystal in the garbage. "I'm still me, just bigger now." Over the following months, the galaxy began to change. The fighting stopped as former enemies started talking to each other instead of shooting. Earth was rebuilt, with humans finally taking their place as equals among the stars. President Maria Santos was elected to lead the new human government, while Emperor Kaleseth worked with reformed Zephyrian councils to create a more fair society. Ambassador Claire Wright helped write the Galactic Cooperative Charter, which guaranteed that no single species could dominate any other. Maya remained connected to the ancient network, but she could still visit her friends and even return to Earth sometimes. The crystal that had started everything was now part of a much larger system that helped all beings understand each other better. One day, Maya stood in the place where her old slum shelter had been. Now it was a beautiful park where human and alien children played together. Emperor Kaleseth joined her, taking her hand. "Do you ever regret finding that device in the garbage?" Maya laughed, the same laugh she had always had. "How could I regret something that brought us all together?" Above them, ships from dozens of different worlds flew peacefully through Earth's sky. The ancient dream of a united galaxy had finally come true, not through conquest or force, but through the simple courage of a young woman who had refused to give up hope. In the end, the most powerful weapon in the galaxy turned out to be understanding, and sometimes, understanding started with something as simple as a kiss between two very different people who chose to trust each other instead of fear. Maya Collins, the slum girl who had found magic in the garbage, had given the galaxy the greatest gift of all, peace.